NavaEd, and I'm like really giving credit to all these people, but this is totally for my studying purposes. And in return, maybe when I upload this video, someone else will be able to use the materials that is rightfully available to everybody. But I am using this because if you're like me, driving around, riding around when I'm by myself instead of listening to the radio, I would rather listen to my voice or someone else's voice telling me the terms, the meanings, and the words that I may need to know for my upcoming test. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please like my video if it was helpful to you. Not so much subscribe, because that's not what I'm trying to do, but I will be uploading other videos. So if you would like to subscribe to me, that would be fine too, so you can see the other videos that I will be uploading, just to help those that are in need. And many of us don't have time to actually sit down with a piece of paper or a book and study. Listening is one of my specialties. Like, it's a benefit for me. All right, so anyways, let me get into it. Right now I'm about to review this set of information that's been uploaded to Quizlet, and I'm gonna try to go as slow as possible so that I can understand, and hopefully if I can understand, you can understand, and it can be a help to you. All right, let me get into it. So the first one says, what are considered to be the core conditions of an effective counseling? It says empathy, unconditional positive regard, congruence. Erickson, psychosocial theory of human development, 1902 through 1994. Field, Neo Fodrian, humanistic, contributions created an 8-stage theory to show how people evolve through lifespans. Describe the first Erickson's 8 periods of life: infancy, trust versus mistrust, birth through 2 years old, important events, feeding, outcome. Children develop trust when caregivers provide reliability, care, and affection. Lack of this will lead to mistrust. Describe Erickson's second period of life, early childhood. Autonomy versus shame and doubtful, 2 to 3 years old. Important events, toilet training. The outcome, children need to develop a sense of personal control over physical skills and sense of independence. Success equals autonomy. Failure equals shame and doubt. Describe Erickson's third period of life, preschool. Intuitive versus guilt, 3 to 5 years old. Important events, exploration, outcome. Children must assert control/power over their environment. Success equals sense of purpose. Failure equals children try to exert too much power and experience disapproval, resulting in a sense of guilt. Describe Erickson's fourth period of life, school age. Industry versus infirmity. Sorry. All mistakes, take them out of love. 6 to 11 years old. Important events, school outcomes. Children must cope with new social and academic demands. Success equals a sense of competency. Failure equals feeling of inferiority. Describe Erickson's fifth period of life, adolescence. Identity versus role confusions. 12 to 18 years old. Important events, social, relationships, outcomes. Teens need to develop a sense of self and personal identity. Success equals able to stay true to self. Failure equals role confusion / weak sense of self. Describe Erickson's sixth period of life, young adult. Intimacy versus isolation. 19 to 40 years old, important events, relationship outcome. Young adult need to form intimate, loving relationship with others. Success, strong relationships. Failure, loneliness and isolation. Describe the cognitive behavior theory. Based on the idea of our thoughts determine our feelings and behavior, feelings and behavior are not based on external things like people, situations, and events. Pageant theory of cognitive development. Based on the idea that the developing child, it builds cognitive structure, mental map, stigmas, networked concepts used to understand and respond to physical experience within his or her environment. Pageant's first level of development, sensory motor, birth to 2 years old. The child learns about him or herself through motor and reflex actions. Thought drives from sensation and movement. The child learns that he or she is separated from his or her environment, and aspects of the environment continue to exist outside of his senses or her senses. Pageant's second level of development, preoperational, talking through 7 years old. Applies knowledge of language, uses symbols to represent objects, personifies objects, better able to think about things and events, not immediately present, oriented to present versus or difficulty, conceptualizing time, thinking influenced by fantasy, assuming others see situations from his or her point of view. Pageant's third level of development, concrete, operational, 7 through 11 years old. Accommodations increase, develops ability to think abstractly and to make rational judgments about concrete or observable phenomena. Pageant's fourth level of development, formal operations, 11 plus through adolescence. Final stage no longer requires a concrete object to make rational judgments, capable of hypothetical and deductive reasoning. Spearman's G factor. The general intelligence underlying someone's ability to perform or do a wide variety of tasks. Cattell, Horn, Carroll's theory of cognitive abilities. Children differ in fluid intelligence, execution of the task requiring rapid decision making. Children also differ in crystallized intelligence, knowledge, skills acquired from experience, school, and culture. Intelligence has 3 layers of stega. Stadrum 3, general intelligence. Stadrum 2, 10 broad abilities. Stadra 1, 70 to 100 very specific abilities are differentiated. Gardner's multiple intelligence. There's 8 intelligence. Logical/mathematical, musical, kinesthetic, spatial, interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalist, and exentual. Sternberg's Terraca theory. There's 3 domains of intelligence: the analytic, making sense and evaluating information, and problems often seen in academic setting; creative, imagination, invention, and synthesis of ideas within the concept of new situations. Practical is applying the knowledge/skills effectively to manage and respond to everyday problems and situations. Distributed intelligence. Intelligent behaviors depending on the following: support mechanisms, physical, social, cultural. Children dispute thinking in 3 different ways. They use physical objects to manipulate large amounts of information. That's physical. They work with others to explore ideas and solve problems. That's social. Represent and think about situations that they encounter using various symbolic tools, and that's culture. Kohlberg's moral development. The first level is pre-conventional morality. Stage 1, obedience and punishment. Stage 2, individualism and exchange. Level 2, conventional morality. Sorry, guys. Stage 3, interpersonal relationships. Stage 4, maintaining social order. Level 3, post-conventional morality. Stage 5, social contract and individual rights. Stage 6 is universal principles. Name the 7 types of small counseling groups. There's education, task, discussion, experimental, self-help, support, and counseling. What are the 5 stages of group development? Forming, group comes together. Storming, group process, storming ideas. Norming, agreement on how group operates. Performing, group practice crafts and meets objectives. Adjourning, letting go of the group structure and moving on. Facilitator, A person who encourages group developments of expression, exploration, self-disclosure, and the discouraged dynamics that hinders expressions and to model healthy, appropriate interpersonal communication. What are the 5 stages of a super life span theory? Growth, birth, through 15 years old. Exploratory, 15 to 24 years old. Establishment, 25 to 44 years old. Maintenance, 45 to 64 years old. Decline, 65 plus years old. Name 3 multicultural counseling competencies: awareness, understanding of personal bias, knowledge, reinforced importance of understanding the worldviews of culturally different clients,